Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who grew well, and salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shati from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And I found a good video on Dave Hodges' channel, The Common Sense Show, and it's entitled Recent Polls Show Millennials Have Major Health Concerns, which, from my personal experience, just walking around and just living life, I see it every single day. You have people, men and women, you know, late teens, early 20s to uh, damn near their 40s. You know, they're overweight, they're obese, they have they tell you that they got high blood pressure, or they're starting to have beginning signs of what they call cardiac problems or heart issues. They already got gout. Okay, some of them are already on dialysis. Some of them already use those little electronic scooters to get around the city, and that's the physical aspect. Let's not even get on the what they call in the modern day society the mental health aspect of it. Okay, it's not that I'm trying to ear hustle on people's conversation, but when you're just walking around on the bus, on the train, you hear these people talking about, well, I got to go to my psychiatrist or my psychologist because I'm not feeling well, or I got to go to CVS because I got to get a new prescription for Ativan or Risperdal or some Zoloft or some just all types of uh, uh, sedatives and psychotropics for whatever they feel that they're going through, whether it be anxiety or major depression, bipolar, or whatever they're going through. You know, these these millennials are in a very bad case because they're just not physically or mentally equipped to do anything. Their whole mind and body these days are not equipped for adversity. And it's a very sad thing to see. But hey, you know what? I'm gonna just let Mr. Hodges talk on it. This video is just under 3 minutes long, so we'll let it play all the way through and we'll get some scripture.
This is a really distressing report, and I'm not surprised, but I think you'll find the results surprising. And the statistics are on the shocking side. My name's Dave Hodges. I'm the host of the Common Sense Show. We are the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. We're going to talk to you about millennial health, and it's not good. We are here to free America, and I need your help in spreading the word. And this is so important that we get broadcasts like this out, because we're getting no assistance, if you know what I mean. People tell me they never get notified, and they're subscribed to the channel. They click on the bell, which you should do every time you log on, and they don't get it. So I do need your help in getting this word out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about millennial health today, and we are brought to you by Health Masters. And you need to find out why Dave Hodges and many of his colleagues in the alternative media are going to Health Masters before we ever go to our doctors. And that is not just a banner phrase. That's an absolute fact. And if you've followed me for any length of time, you know how I've avoided catastrophe 4 different times with Health Masters, and so have a lot of my colleagues. Go to healthmasters.com, use the coupon code, CODE5, C-O-D-E, code 5 to take 5% off. Well, millennial health, this is going to shock you. I hope you're sitting down. 54% of the people in this country born between 1980 and 1999 have a chronic health condition. Boy, Big Pharma has got to be just lighting up their eyes and dollar signs everywhere. They've won the lottery. 54. We wouldn't expect to see this until people are in their 60s, 70s. Chronic health conditions from people between the ages of 20 and 40. This is outrageous. What do you think the cause is? There are The thing is, when you deal with data like this, it's sometimes hard to get a cause and effect. You can get correlations, but cause and effect is a little more difficult to arrive at. But if you were to hazard a guess, I want to open this up for your participation. 54% have a physical health condition. About 30% of them have a diagnosable mental illness, according to Harris Poll, Blue Cross Blue Shield. This is amazing. What do you think the cause is? Spare me the sarcasm. I'm looking for real inquiry data because I'm going to do a major report on this. But right now, we have a fact, but we don't have the reasons behind the facts. Give me a starting point. That's it for the Common Sense Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here again next time.
And hey, you heard it from Dave. All right, the majority of these people walking around are struggling physically, emotionally, and mentally. Okay, basically we have, for lack of a better phrase, a weak product of humans roaming the earth. And he said he needs an answer. Well, I'm going to give that answer. It's very simple. It's because the earth was, as it says in Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, and the wicked is bad Uncle Esau, who is the so-called white man. And to back that up, you always go to Malachi, 1st chapter, the 3rd and 4th verse. Because under the management of the wicked, okay, a very evil and sinister satanic vibration is being pushed all throughout the earth. Okay, if you do your due diligent research, you can easily find out that there's chemtrails in the air, there's fluoride in the water, most of your foods are GMOs. Hell, they even got to the point where they could 3D produce food. Okay, bad dietary habits are pushed out. On top of that, you got the spiritual aspect of things. Okay, go and commit adultery, smoke weed, listen to all type of satanic videos. You can be a homosexual. See, all these things damage the body. It throws the natural homeostasis of the body off. And then when you combine it with the spiritual aspect, see, when you put all that negative bullshit in your system, all right, it's not feeding your spirit. As the scripture says, it's not what goes into a man that counts, but what comes out. But the thing is, if you have nothing but garbage food coming into your physical body, and you got garbage food coming into your spirit, you got nothing coming out that brings forth life. Because the equation always remains the same. 0 plus 0 is 0. Okay? If nothing goes in that's positive, nothing can come out that's positive. And that's what you have going today, not only in Babylon the Snake, but all across the world, because bad Uncle Esau is in rulership. And because bad Uncle Esau is in rulership, as the scripture said, hey, when bad Uncle Esau is in control, this will be the end of the world. So now you have the end of the world topped with all this satanic madness going on. It's only natural that you have a huge group of people being produced that are physically and spiritually weak. And to prove that, we're going to go to 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, starting at the 48th verse. And it says, "Then said he unto me, even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in their time. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the aged, even so have I disposed the world which I created. Okay. And I asked and said, seeing thou hast now given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee, for our mother, of whom thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto age. He answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee, saying to her, wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? So what you have now in this conversation that Ezra is having with an angel, he's telling them, or I believe it was actually, it was a messenger, you know, the conversation that he's having is, how is it that the world can't bring forth the product of people and things on the earth as it used to be? How come we can't be as mighty as we used to be physically and spiritually? And how come there can't be as many people on the earth as it should be? And so now Ezra is about to get his answer. And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise. So that's the answer. Okay? This earth is at the end of its time period because, as scripture says, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of that which follows. Okay, so right now we have the end of this current age under the rulership of bad Uncle Esau, who is the so-called white man. And as I said before, during the rulership of bad Uncle Esau, everything has been tainted. Everything has been polluted and under a very sick and sinister and satanic vibration. Okay, everything that bad Uncle Esau puts his hands on leads to death. That's why you have a mass population of people born on this earth, as the video said, that are mentally weak, sick, and ill. And you have people who are physically sick, weak, and ill, especially the young people. I have a friend who works in EMS, and he tells me that you have he has people that are 28, 30 to 32, and they're having legitimate cardiac issues. They have the beginning signs of heart attacks. You got a 30-year-old who has the health of a 70-year-old man. That's madness. In what type of world does that make sense? Okay? That's what you have here in this world. You have a weak product being born. And it says, consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. And so are they that come after you less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Then said I, Yahweh, I beseech thee, if I have found favor in thy sight, show thy servant by whom thou visitest thy creature. Okay? So the Lord just told Ezra that this earth that you're living in right now, in this present time, it won't be able to bring forth the strength that it used to have because it's not in its youth anymore. And seeing as this current world is fading away, and it's now under the rulership of bad Uncle Esau, it's going to produce a product that's not up to the same quality as it used to be. Because when you read the Bible, you'll find many stories in there that lets you know or at least gives you an insight on to our old physical stature, what we used to have back in the day. I've read one story, I believe it's in the Maccabees, where it talks about it took two mighty men to carry a cluster of grapes. Okay, it's somewhere in the Old Testament, but it said one king's bed was so many cubits. Okay, and a cubit is, if I remember correctly, is a foot and a half. And when I did the math, the measurement equivalent to a foot and a half, man, that bed turned out, if I remember correctly, like 17 feet long. Okay, I believe there was one story where it's like King David's crown was almost like 100 something pounds. So you have to say to yourself, what type of physical stature did we have back then that we were able to have a crown that's almost 100 pounds, or two men to lift a cluster of grapes, or how tall we could have been that we needed a bed that was 17 something feet long? That's amazing. Okay. And then certain things in this day and age, people can prevent, just by going and working out and doing other things. But as I said, we live in a society where, working out is not heavily promoted. Neither are healthy dietary habits or healthy spiritual and mental habits are being promoted. Because even doing that much goes a long way. And to prove that, we're going to go to, I believe it's Ecclesiasticus, is it 36? No, it's 30. I want to say it's 30. Yeah, Ecclesiasticus 30 and 14. It says, better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. So it says, better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution. That's of your very makeup of who you are. That's your mind, your body, and your spirit. So better is it for you to be poor in a low estate, or not having funds, but you have a sound mind and strong makeup, than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Okay, because once your health fades, that's it. You can't get your health back once you get to a certain point. I've never met a person that had chronic heart failure, chronic renal failure, chronic liver failure, say, you know what? I think I'm going to get my act together and work out and eat right and start all over again and be healthy. No. Once you have it, once you get to that point, you have it. It's done. It can't be reversed. Okay? And you can spend all the money you want to on the greatest technological advances in health, but it don't mean nothing. Because at the end of the day, whatever ailment you have that's in a chronic condition is going to be that way. Okay? And it says, there is no riches above a sound body and no joy above the joy of the heart. That means there is no money, no amount of riches in the world above a sound body, a body that's physically healthy, that can move and has strength and that's agile and it's able to do the things that you need it to do on a daily basis. Not only that, if the situation arises where you have to defend yourself, you have a strong, muscular, masculine, well-built body, all right, that can beat somebody down if they step to you in the wrong way, okay? And no joy but the joy of the heart, which is the joy of a mind that's at peace, that's not afflicted with depression and anxiety and a whole bunch of other damn demons out there that get you down. And it said, death is better than a bitter life or a continual sickness. Okay? Death is better than a bitter life or continuous. So, and I'm sure bitter is the only scripture I can really think of that has bitter, and it says, I find more bitter than death the woman. But a bitter life, and when I looked up that word, it meant like a angry, vexing, enraged, sorrowful. Basically a sad, angry, miserable, basically a miserable life. So death is better than a miserable life. Or continual sickness, constantly being plagued with ailments. Now, granted, we're in this flesh. There are certain ailments that we can't get away with, but at the same time, there's a lot of ailments that we can avoid. Okay? We can avoid diabetes. We can avoid high blood pressure. We can avoid renal failure. We can avoid AIDS. There's a lot of things that we can avoid if we just take the initiative to keep ourselves not only physically healthy by adhering to the dietary laws of the Bible and exercising, but there are also things that we can do that we can help feed our spirit that makes it strong as well. Praying, fasting, reading these scriptures, doing the things spiritually that the Lord told us to do according to his law, statutes, and commandments. These things feed our spirit and make it strong. Just like calisthenics and eating right makes the body strong. It's the same thing. And see, when you put those two together, that's when you can have a spirit and a body that can bring forth something fruitful. But as Dave said today, most of our, not only just our people, you Jakes out there, are unhealthy, but many people in the world are unhealthy. And as I said before, the answer is very simple. It's because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, but soon that rulership is going to be over with, and things will get back to normal, as Yahweh Bashem Yahushua promised us. Hey, when it's our time to rule in the kingdom, hey, we're gonna have those mighty bodies. I mean, those mighty heavenly bodies, the bodies that never get sick, that never age, that never suffer any type of physical ailments, and it will house a sound mind and spirit, because as the Lord promised us in the kingdom, he's going to remove that stony heart and put a flesh one in our bodies. And man, I can't wait for that. That's just going to be such a beautiful thing. So this went a little longer than I expected, but I hope you all were edified nonetheless. Once again, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well, and salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. With that, we're going to say shalom.